Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's good, YouTube? Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Tank be chopping, and we back with another haircut tutorial. Alright guys, what we're gonna be doing on this cut is we leaving the top. We're gonna be doing a mid drop fade, adding some enhancements on the front lineup, well the vertical bars and the beard. So nonetheless, going straight into this haircut, as you can see, I got my JRL Onyx clippers and I'm debulking the sides with that number 4 guard. And then right after that is done, I'm following that right up with my number 3 guard. And this just makes it easier for me to blend, you know what I'm saying? Instead of thinking like, man, I gotta blend into all this hair on top, I really know I only have to blend into a number 3 guard, you know what I'm saying? So I debulked with the 4, basically floated the clipper into the length on top, came right below that with my number 3 guard, and I'm just blending all that down, debulking, giving myself an easier work area. And now, as y'all can see, I'm taking my trimmer. What I'm doing is I'm setting in my initial bald guideline. And like I said, we are doing like a mid drop fade. However, he doesn't like C cups at all. So we kind of gonna cut those off. And we're making sure that we drop this initial bald guideline in the back. You know what I'm saying? You wanna make sure you drop it because once again, we are trying to achieve a drop fade. So what's a drop fade if you ain't dropping it in the back? You know what I'm saying? So nonetheless, we drop it in the back and then we do the same exact thing to the opposite side. And I like to punch in my line sometimes. Sometimes I just come up and, you know, flick out when I'm leaving my line. It just depends, honestly, on how I feel. I don't think it's that much of a difficult thing to get that line out anyways. But nonetheless, I switch between punching it in or coming up with the trimmer. But now that that is done, as you can see, now I'm taking my shaver, getting the sides all the way down the skin. That way it can last my client a little longer. And in my opinion, I think it looks better. So that's why I like to do it on all of my clients. Alright, so now that that is done, we're gonna actually start some of the fade work. So I'm going in once again with my JRL Onyx clipper, lever all the way open, setting in my next section of hair. And we're basically gonna follow that same shape using a slight flick out motion. And I'm really not overthinking the flick out motion. I'm just flicking out as I'm bringing that line up. And then we're gonna put our number 1 guard on our clipper, still with the lever all the way open, and we're gonna set in another section. Same thing here, guys. We're gonna use a small flick out motion, but not over exaggerating it. Sometimes when people hear us say we're using a flick out motion, they start to like really like flick out. Like it's not that harsh of a flick out. It's really, you're just towards the top of that line, you're barely relieving some pressure and flicking out slightly. And as you can see here, I am being really consistent with it, going over that section a couple times. That way it's down to that length that I need it to. Now I'm going in with my number 2 guard lever open, and I'm blending into what I previously did. So once again, earlier I did my number 4 guard and my number 3 guard. So I know my number 2 guard open should basically blend into that number 3 guard. And we're gonna go with the clipper open first, and then once we get that situated, I'm gonna close my lever just like you saw me do right there. And I'm gonna start attacking this line and that section, that bottom line, and it's gonna lighten that section up, or it's gonna lighten that line up. It's not gonna completely take it out. I am gonna have to go back in with my 1.5 guard, but nonetheless, it's gonna make that line easier for me to take out. And as you can see, I'm just going over it a good amount of times, adjusting my lever as needed just to make sure that part of the blend looks right. And then once that is done, I'm gonna take my 1.5 guard lever close, and I'm really gonna start attacking this line right here. Now, this part of the blend in this step, you can adjust your lever if you feel it's necessary, but most of the time, I really don't need to adjust my lever with this system. You know what I'm saying? Especially when I'm using my 1.5 guard. Now, every once in a while I will, but it just depends on the texture and the thickness of the hair. So now, as y'all can see, I have my half guard on my clipper, lever is all the way open, and I'm starting to attack this line in the blend. As you can see, I'm just barely attacking that line, and I will be adjusting my lever closed little by little to get that line to come out completely. As you can see, I just closed my lever halfway, and now I'm still tapping at that line, trying not to come all the way up not to come all the way up like I previously did. You know what I'm saying? If I keep coming up to that same level or that same spot, it's basically gonna leave a line, and that's something that we're not really trying to do. But if it happens, okay, don't worry about it. You can always open your lever or revert back to the number 1 guard, and that can help get rid of that error that you created. But as you can see, we're just adjusting that lever, and now you can see that part of the blend is looking better. Once again, we still got some discrepancies, and that's what I'm cleaning up here. I did open my lever all the way, and now I'm using the corner of my clipper just to clean up these dark areas. And then I did decide to revert back to my number 1 guard, going in with my lever all the way open first. Once again, cleaning up some of these dark areas that didn't transition well from my half guard open to my 1.5. And I'm just gonna adjust my lever however I feel is necessary. Some spots I have it closed more than others, but that has a lot to do with the density of the hair and the way its hair grows in certain areas. So now we're gonna start to attack this bottom line. And what I like to do is, I know that I went in with my lever all the way open already. So what I'm doing is I'm going in with my lever halfway open, working this line, and then I'm gonna adjust my lever closed, working my way down little by little until this section gets blended out. And if that bottom line doesn't come out completely, that's perfectly fine. If you have a line from that bottom trimmer or the shaver that you set in earlier, just keep in mind that you may have to go back in with the same trimmer to get that line out. That's not the case in every situation, but sometimes that does happen. And as you can see, that's what I'm doing here. I decided to take my trimmer and use the corner of my trimmer and just attack this very faint line at the bottom of this blend. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of detail work because I'm not 100% satisfied with the blend yet. So I'm going back in with my clipper, lever open, and doing my lever play. You know what I'm saying? Once again, lever play is when you just adjust your lever as needed to get them lines and dark areas to come out. And now I decided to start fading in the beard with my clipper open, and then I'm gonna adjust my lever closed little by little. He did want me to blend the beard down a little more, so that's basically what I'm doing here, just taking my clipper lever open a little lower than I typically would. Now I'm going in with my 1 guard open, and then I'm gonna adjust my lever closed. And now I'm gonna take my half guard open and then continue to close my lever and adjust my lever wherever I feel is necessary to get the beard to look nice and faded. Now we're gonna go ahead and set in the lineup on this side of the head. Now you don't have to do this step yet, but I like to do it once I'm done with one side of the blend, because for me, it helps me see that blend better. Once I hit that lineup, it lets me see any discrepancies, those dark areas pop more, and if there is any dark spots, I can go back in and detail if needed. Now, a lot of times that does happen, but sometimes it doesn't. That's perfectly fine. Once you put that line in there, the blend might even look better, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes it will show you some darker areas that you see that you may want to go back in and clean up. And then once again, since I have the trimmers in my hand, I put that edge up on the front and the vertical bar. I decided to hit up that beard on this side just because I had the trimmers in my hand. Go ahead and line up the mustache. So basically this side of the haircut is gonna look done. You know what I'm saying? So this side of the haircut is gonna look almost done except for the razor work, but it's gonna look probably like 85-90% done once I'm done with this line. And that's a good thing to do when you have walk-ins in the shop, because they can actually see your work. They can see like, oh, that man can blend good. He's got that edge up on point. So that's a little tip you may want to use if you have walk-ins in the shop. Blend one side first and then turn that side towards the walk-ins and then start working on the opposite side. But as you can see now, we are on the opposite side. I'm doing the same thing. Number 4 guard, then my number 3 guard to debulk. And then I'm gonna go on with my clipper lever all the way open, setting in my first section. Once again, following that same shape. And I gotta stress that out because sometimes people forget that you need to follow that same shape that you created. Now here's my 1 guard lever open, following the same shape using a slight flick out motion. And then we're gonna move on to the 2 guard lever open. And once again, guys, we're doing the same exact steps we did on the opposite side. You really don't want to change nothing. Now, you may switch things up a little bit, but for the most part, you want to follow the same blueprint and the same steps that you did. That way you get a nice, consistent blend. And then as y'all can see now, I'm just closing my guard and trying to get rid of that bottom line in that section. 1.5 guard closed. Trying to make this blend look nice and blurry. Now here's my half guard lever open. Attacking this line right here as y'all can see, and then I'm just gonna adjust my lever closed as needed to get that section to look blended out. And sometimes people ask me why I don't blend up, and it's just preference, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know some people do blend up, and I used to blend up, but for some reason, I feel like the way I do it now, I'm quicker, and it gives a better blend, in my opinion. Now I can do either way. I can fade down, I can fade up, I can put guidelines in, no guidelines, whatever you need, right? But I just like this blueprint a little better for me. And what works for me may not work for someone else, but I just want to give y'all basically my steps, what I like to do to achieve my blends. And then once I did that with my no guard lever open all the way to closed, I'm just going back in and detailing 2 guard, 1.5 guard, whatever guards I feel is necessary to get this blend to look right. Here's my 1 guard lever open, and then we're just gonna adjust that lever as needed. Half guard, and then no guard. And for the most part, this side of the blend is coming together. You know, y'all can see it's looking nice and blurry right here. Then we're gonna fade that beard in, clipper all the way open first, adjusting it closed towards the top of that line. Now we're going in with the 1 guard open and then adjusting it closed. And then we're gonna go in with the half guard open and then adjust it closed. Now I'm gonna go ahead and set this part of the lineup in. We hit the back of the beard, hit the front lineup. Now, y'all gonna see this lineup and y'all gonna probably come at me in the comments, and I'm ready for it, you know what I'm saying? Like, my initial lineup, it didn't look the sharpest. Now, I do want to state that after I cut the back of my client's head and I went back to the front, I seen that his line wasn't straight. So I did touch it up. I did fix him up just in case y'all gonna come at me in the comments and tell me that my edge up was crooked. I know it's crooked, you know what I'm saying? I synced it and I went back and I fixed it, and that's okay. That's what you're supposed to do as a barber. Not everything is gonna be 100% the first time you do it. Sometimes you gotta look away for a little bit and then come back. Your eyes are rested. You can actually see what's going on, see how the blend is looking, or see how the lineup is looking, and then fix it up. But now we're just lining up my client's beard. We're gonna line up the mustache area inside of the goatee area. Just try to make this all look sharp and make it look like a mirror image to what the other side looks like. Alright, so now that is done, we're gonna go ahead and add a little bit of enhancements just to make these lines pop a little more. We're only gonna add enhancements on the vertical bars and the beard area. And once that is done, I like to go over the beard area with a shaver. So this is my Uno 2.0 shaver, and I'm going over all this because, for one, it makes it easier for me to attack with the razor, and it just cleans up all those loose hairs, gives it more of a finished look, so I can see, you know, if there's anything I need to touch up before I decide to finish his haircut. And then I like the single foil shavers for this because they're smaller and they get into those harder to reach areas. And then now we're just going over these lines with the razor.
Damn it, Tito.
Trying to make sure that these lines look nice and sharp. Y'all know what it is, man. Let's go. Hey, remember guys, if y'all do want to purchase any of these tools, you can go to fortworthbarbersupply.com. I'm sorry, that's fwbarbersupply.com, and use my discount code TANK10. That way you can save yourself some money. And if you're interested in these capes, illusion.com, my discount code is TANK15, I believe, at illusion.com. TANK15 or TANK10, y'all try both of those. All right, man, so check it out. This is how my boy came into the shop looking. This is the before look, and this is the finished product. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this haircut in the comment section. If y'all like this video, please make sure to smash that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe one time for your boy. Remember guys, if you're in the Houston, Texas area and want a haircut from your boy, you can go to my website, tankbechopping.com. You can book there. If you want me to record it for YouTube, make sure to put that in the comment section. I'm gonna try my best to record it. Once again, if you want to purchase any of these tools you've seen in this video, you can go to fwbarbersupply.com, use my discount code TANK10. And the illusion capes, go to illusion.com, discount code TANK15. And that's basically it, YouTube. Make sure to follow your boy on Instagram and TikTok. I'm about to start getting active on TikTok again, man. But y'all make sure to subscribe. We're doing a giveaway once I reach 20K. I'm doing a giveaway on the Low Pro FX1 clipper and trimmers. But without further ado, man, that's it for this video, and I'm out of here. Let's go.